Alright guys, I know you may look at the title and be like, an E30, what's up man? I thought this was a Japan channel, man. No, but so pretty much I was looking for another project, and I was looking around on Craigslist, you know, the usual stuff like a Miata or another 240 or like an FCRX7 is something I really wanted. But one day when I was looking at cars, my wife was like, when are you gonna fix your E30? And so that's kind of what started all this. Basically I've had this E30 for a long time, probably a little over 4 years, and it's pretty much just been my daily driver. My first car ever that I bought to drift was actually an E36, and basically that car got, basically I was driving and some kid in a Honda Civic just crashed into it and totaled it, like hit me on the side. Not T-bone, but it's kind of hard to explain what happened. But anyways, so they totaled the E36, and with the money from the E36 I bought this E30 because the E36 I had a ton of fun with the E36 when I had it. And this one was owned by a BMW enthusiast. It had has a factory limited slip. It had some other stuff on it like a short shifter, and it was just really well maintained. And pretty much I drove this car for 4 years with like no problem. The only maintenance I did was like changing the oil pretty much. So what happened to this car is one day I was driving and I noticed the temp was rising a little bit, so I pulled over and I noticed that the power steering pump had eaten through the lower radiator hose a little bit. So anyways, it drove fine for the next 6 months, and then one day it just started getting a slight misfire, so I opened the oil cap and the oil and the coolant had started mixing, which is, you know, blown head, you guys get. So anyways, rather than trying to fix it, I figured I might as well just pull out the engine and swap something else that will make this car more fun, which it's pretty fun stock. But so what I'm kind of thinking is maybe swap the engine. Obviously that's the most important thing, and then doing maybe some some coilovers, and yeah, I'm thinking about rebuilding the limited slip, since with me it's seen a lot of use. And yeah, maybe you can throw an extra clutch disc in there and it will give it a little bit more lockup. The stock lockup for me is good enough, but so yeah, anyways, I thought it might just be something cool. You know, it's not something, I mean the shell is really clean and it's, you know, clean title, everything. But at the same time, I'm not really like concerned about keeping it like super cool or anything like that. I might just do something that's just going to be a really fun car to drive, and we can take it to the track and it can be a street car. So yeah, anyways, I'm not sure exactly what engine I'm going to get, but I'm going to start looking around and seeing what I can find for a good deal. I don't know if it's going to be a BMW engine or something else, but I guess we'll see. So anyways, today we're pulling the engine and that's about it. So let's get to it.
All those moments we lost. Time. Like tears. And rain.
Alright guys, so I pretty much got the car up on ramps. Well, I got ramps on this side, and then on that side I have, it's just on a tire, or not on a tire, but on a rim. I'll show you guys in a second. So first I think I'm gonna remove the hood, because if you know, the hood opens this way. So, which, you know, whoops, which makes it impossible, you know, to remove the engine without removing the hood. So I'm gonna remove the hood, and then yeah, then I'll do the radiator, and then yeah, we'll just start pulling stuff off and kind of see where it goes. Alright, so removing the hood wasn't too bad. So yeah, I think now I'm gonna start moving the radiator. I just gotta pull the hoses, then I'll pull the clutch fan. So I actually have this, I bought it on Amazon like a long time ago, but I think they still have them on there. Anyways, this is like the viscous fan remover tool, so it has a thing to hold the water pump, and then obviously the wrench to undo the clutch fan, which I think it's a 32 millimeter. So anyways, we'll just start doing that. We'll start with removing the hoses first. So. Alright, so I got the hoses out of the way well enough. You know, there's like 3 main hoses on the E30. At least mine's an 87 325E. So yeah, there's this hose that goes to the bottom, then there's the upper hose, and then there's this other hose that kind of like circles back to the water pump. So I'm gonna try and get the viscous fan off. It shouldn't be too hard, hopefully. So pretty much you use you know, one of these sides to hold the water pump. There's 2 different sizes, and then you know, this is for the fan. Let me see if I can turn it first. Oh, you know what? I didn't even need the holder. Usually if you just spin the fan fast enough, you can get the nut to just come off once it's loose. Cool, so there's just a couple clips holding the shroud, the fan shroud on. The clutch fan's already loose, but it's easier if you pull the fan and the shroud out together. We can pull the radiator out. It just looks like there's just 2 bolts up here, and then it'll just lift out. And it looks like there's 2 wires over here. Yep, here we go. And as you can see, I left the bottom hose on so it didn't spill everywhere. Alright, so yeah, so now just so you guys can see, we got quite a lot of room in there. As you can see, it's still got the AC, the condenser. So yeah, this is where the water pump is down here. This is the water pump pulley right here. And then there's still this lower hose. But as you can see, it kind of like loops around here, and then it connects to yeah, this port up here. I may just take off the AC compressor. Just start disconnecting everything I'm going to need to pull off to pull the whole engine out. Probably remove the intake because that will make it easier to get to everything, like the engine mounts. And then I'll undo the headers, which can be a pain because they've been on there forever. And yeah, so we'll just start working on that. This is the vacuum for the brake booster. Come on. Just an old K&N. I should be able to clean it and reuse it. It's weird, on a Nissan everything is 12 or 14 usually, but on this car there's a lot of 13 millimeters. Alright, so I did a couple things off camera. The camera was starting to get hot because it's so sunny out here. But anyways, see there? Here's the AC compressor, just loose in there. It's disconnected from the engine, it was right there. And then here's the headers. As you can see, got them off the block. This one still has 2 studs. If you looked, all the bolts pretty much got frozen onto the stud. But luckily the whole stud came out on almost all of them except for 2. And both of those are on this front one here. So anyways, won't be that big of a deal because I'm just going to unhook the whole exhaust and then hopefully I can just pull the whole thing through. There are, right here, there's like 3 bolts holding each of these on. There's 1 in the back, 2 here, 2 here, 1 in the back. But they're super hard to break loose, and they're like, there's no way to get any leverage with your hand in here, and especially on this one. I mean, all you can move the ratchet is like barely at all, you know, so see, I'll just be easier to pull the whole thing out, I think. That's kind of where I'm at. All right, so I took a quick lunch break, but I got some more stuff done since I came back. Right over here, that lighter. So like right here, it's still kind of dark, sorry. But right here, there's like I think it's the charcoal canister for the emissions. So I got that. I didn't get it all the way out, I just got the hose that was hooked up to it. And then I loosened it and just moved it up so I can get to the engine mount. I undid the fuel line that comes off the filter. It's right here. It was actually to like a weird T that broke. So yeah, that's done. I undid the power steering pump, which is down here. I'm not gonna unhook the lines. I'm just gonna leave them hooked up and just disconnect the pump. What else have I done? So I'm not exactly sure what all I need to undo. I think I'm just kind of like visually seeing what's hooked up and what I might need to move. I still need to undo the drive shaft, yeah, the shifter and stuff. So probably do that now, and then I might be ready to pull. Not 100% sure, but oh yeah, and undo the engine mounts, obviously. But yeah, I got the boot and knob. Alright guys, so it's the next day. I already started doing some stuff. So I got the drive shaft off, as you can see. I got the jack under the trans, and I got the trans mount unbolted. As you can see, it's right there. Then here's the drive shaft hanging, the exhaust, obviously. So yeah, you can't really see it right now, but on the other side of the exhaust, you can kind of see it sticking right there. There's like a heat shield that goes above the exhaust and kind of encloses the drive shaft. So pretty much you have to drop the exhaust, then remove that heat shield so you can drop the drive shaft. Really not that big of a deal. So anyways, what I started doing here is, and on some of the later Beamers, you just need to unplug this main plug from here, and that's it for the engine. But I noticed this one has something different, so it's got this plug, which I'm pretty sure you have to unhook. It was connected here. Sorry, I think I'm gonna focus a little bit. Yeah, so this one, there's a couple grounds. I also disconnected these wires right here from the alternator, and then it's also this is also on the same harness, which I think is the like the crankshaft position sensor. So as you can see, it goes on the the crank pulley, and kind of, I think as it spins, it measures these little dots, like, I don't know, with the sensor, you know. So anyways, so yeah, now I'm just gonna, I think I need to disconnect the wires from the starter, I think, and then I should be ready to pull the motor, I think. I keep saying I should be ready to pull the motor, but I keep finding little things here and there that, you know, I'm not like super familiar working with, you know, Beamers and stuff. I mean, like I said, I've had this car for a while, but I haven't really had to do anything to it, so. Anyways, yeah, when I dropped the exhaust, I got the headers, as you can see, all the way pulled off. And as you can see here, looks like all my gaskets were pretty much blown, so not really that big of a deal, but anyways. Oh yeah, and I already got the engine mounts unbolted, so yeah. So here's the return for the fuel. So I'm just gonna undo that real quick. Yeah. That was just disintegrated. Alright, so the more I look, the more things I found that need to get disconnected. So anyways, basically all this wiring, oops, sorry, all this wiring right here. So there's like, you know, plugs here, plugs here, plugs here, plugs there. All the injectors, which are kind of a pain. You can see them in there. There's one. They go all under the intake manifold, which looks nice just under the bay, but it kind of makes it a pain. There's also this really long wire right here. It's just like a single wire. It plugs down over here by the oil filter, so I'm not sure if it's like an oil pressure or if it's like a NOx sensor or something, but yeah, you gotta unhook that. Then basically what I'm in the process of doing, it's like fishing all this underneath the manifold. I'm kind of pulling on one side, making sure nothing's getting snagged, and just kind of continuing to push all that through. So yeah, I'm not really sure what else. Let me show you guys over here. So pretty much this is the, so I can get a lighter for you guys. Alright, so if you see all this wiring like I showed you earlier, this is stuff I pulled out. But it kind of joins in with this right here, which I'm not really sure what this is. Yeah, like a fuse box or a relays. All these relays right here. So yeah, which then joins into this thing, which, you know, so I don't think I need to remove this. I'm pretty sure I don't. So I'm just gonna leave it on here. I don't know, maybe there's an easier way to do all this, but I'm doing the hard way because I'm a noob, you know, so, but who knows. Alright, so I got the harness fished through there. As you can see, there's like a mess of wiring right here. Basically all the wiring for the engine. There's one little bracket over, pretty much under here, that held the whole harness to the engine. So that's undone. I haven't done the heater core stuff, but once I kind of start to pull the engine a little bit, I think it'll be pretty easy to undo the heater core once the engine's just a little bit forward, and I can just reach back there easily, because as you can see right now, there's like nothing like as far as room because of because of all the space. I mean, not the space, the wires and stuff. So anyways, I just need to move the engine hoist over here and then yeah, connect it. Alright, so I'm just gonna lift it up a little bit like this just to get the engine kind of broken loose. The passenger side engine mount just completely like fell in half, and yeah. So anyways, there's the driver's side engine mount I was talking about. You can see there. Let me just focus. Yeah, so that rubber, the black thing right there, that's the engine mount, and as you can see, the stud just pulled right out of it. So anyways, those were shot. Alright, so hook up the chains real quick and get it going. Alright, so I got the leveler on. I just got a fat bolt through there, down the back. I just got it ratchet strapped. I've ran it through a bunch of times. Yeah, so that should be good. Hopefully, we'll try. I'll just take it slow just in case something happens. So I don't know why, but for some reason the camera stopped recording. I don't know where it stopped, but anyways, one thing I forgot was the slave cylinder. So yeah, I thought about it when I was under there, and I was like, I'll get to it in a little bit, and then I never end up getting to it because I just forgot. So anyways, as you can see, the oil pan is above kind of the cross front radiator support, and the trans is out of the tunnel. As you can see, I just got to get it all pulled through and everything. But yeah, it's out almost, so I just need to probably, I'm already hitting the canopy, but I probably need to go just a little bit higher and just pull it through. So, cool. Alright guys, there it is. So I don't know if you guys saw or not, but one side of the ratchet strap broke, but the other side was still holding it on. But anyways, yeah, the bolt is definitely a good idea. Definitely best idea is to use chains or like a seat belt, but I don't know where that seat belt went. The ratchet strap did alright, but definitely, as you can see, it was kind of not a brand new ratchet strap, so it was a little old. Anyways, there it is. There's the engine bay. Only damage was really right here on the core support. As you can see, it got a little banged up, but nothing too terrible. So yeah, you definitely need to remove all this wiring. As you can see, it's just like one solid piece. But yeah, like I think I said in the beginning of the video, I don't know if I did or not, but this round plug, like if you do like an E36 engine swap, they make like a thing that you connect, you know, obviously you bring the E36 harness, but then you bring this from the E36 and you plug in one side here and one side here, and that's the entire swap harness, you know, because this is like the chassis harness and this is just like, all this here is just like the engine harness, and it runs into there. As you see, that's for the ECU. So overall, I think that's a pretty cool design that they did with the wiring. You know, it makes it easy for people. You definitely need to clean up in here, especially along the driver's side frame rail. As you can see, it's just like coated in nastiness just from the power steering was leaking. And yeah, the cross member's pretty nasty. I'm probably just gonna pull those old headers through and the exhaust. But yeah, overall wasn't too hard. I probably took 3 hours yesterday and then probably like 2 hours today, so like 5 hours. It really isn't that bad for the first time pulling the engine out of here. Alright guys, so that was it for pulling the engine out. Went not too bad. It was definitely a little bit more complicated than pulling out an SR or anything on a 240. These have a lot more, it's not that the stuff is more complicated, but it's just kind of the way that they do things is different, you know, different than I'm used to. Like I said, I've had this car for 4 years or something, and I've never had to like touch anything really, except I think I changed the power steering belt once, and then just changed the oil the whole time I've had it a couple times. So yeah. Anyways, I'm not quite sure what engine I'm gonna put on there yet, or put in here. Like I said earlier, I thought about E36 engine. It just depends on what I can find at the junkyard. I'm not so dedicated to keeping this car like, oh, it's gotta have a BMW engine or something like that. So if I find something cool at the junkyard, even something like like an old school V8 or something from a truck, I would be down to try and put it in here. I know the one thing with these cars with swaps is the booster, but we can just delete the booster or go with the Garagistic, I think that's how you say it. They have like a brackets so you can mount like a race car pedal box inside your car, so that way the engine bay is just like doesn't have a booster in there. So yeah, I don't know, something fun, something that I could throw in here that would just be you know, still take it to the track and stuff. So yeah, that way my wife has kind of been showing some interest in maybe learning how to drift. So if I threw some coilovers on this, it has the factory limited slip, which works pretty good. I've drifted with it a few times. And yeah, I think that would be pretty much good enough for like a basic car. You know, I kind of just want something that's going to be a reliable engine that we can kind of just, you know, throw in there. Something NA. I don't want to do a turbo in here because that just complicates everything. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure yet what we're going to do, but definitely plan on doing something with it. That's about it for this video, I think. So yeah, drop me a comment or hit the thumbs up if you liked it. I got more stuff coming in the future weeks for sure. Stuff with the S13 and possibly hitting up another event really soon. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.